English learners, and welcome to EnglishPod. My name is Marco.
I'm Amira.
And Amira and I are here today with a great lesson for you.
Yes, we are.
Today, we're going to be talking about a restaurant. Amira, why don't you give us a little bit more details?
Well, we're talking about a situation in a restaurant and two people are involved, the waiter and the customer. And I don't want to say any more.
Okay, don't say any more. Let's just listen to this dialogue and we'll be back later to explain it.
Dialogue.
Good evening. My name is Fabio. I'll be your waiter for tonight. May I take your order?
No, I'm still working on it. This menu's not even in English. What's good here?
For you, sir, I would recommend spaghetti and meatballs.
Does it come with Coke and fries?
It comes with either soup or salad and a complimentary glass of wine, sir.
I'll go with the spaghetti and meatballs, salad, and the wine.
Excellent choice. Your order will be ready soon.
How soon is soon?
20 minutes?
You know what? I'll just go grab a burger across the street.
Ma va un po', ti vieni in questo locale, mi fai tutte queste domande ancora? Ma va, pigliato.
Uh-oh, what a waiter.
What a waiter. He is really angry at this customer, and I can't blame him. I would be angry too.
Yeah. So, I think, Marco, you have chosen some interesting expressions for us here. What is the first one?
Well, the first one is, I'm still working on it.
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 Why don't we listen to some other examples on how you can use this word, and then we'll come back and explain it.
Other examples?
Did you finish reading the magazine?
I'm still working on it.
Did you fix my car?
I'm still working on it.
So you could say, I'm still working on it, means
I still need more time.
fantastic.
Great. Okay, it's clear.
I have another one for you guys. It's a phrase commonly used and you'll hear it all the time. Coke and fries.
Coke and fries.
Coke and fries.
Coke and fries. It's a short way of saying Coca-Cola and French fries.
So that's basically America's fast food.
Yeah, burger, Coke, and fries.
Okay. What's next on the menu?
On the menu, we have a complimentary glass of wine.
Complimentary glass of wine.
Complimentary glass of wine.
Complimentary means
That it's free.
free.
Yes.
We love that, huh?
Yeah, we definitely like free things.
Well, I have another one for us here. Another interesting phrase. I'll go with.
I'll go with.
I'll go with.
I'll go with.
So basically, it's another way of saying I'm choosing.
Yeah, I'll choose or I'll take.
I'll take. Mm-hmm. Okay, very good.
All right, the next word that I want to take a look at is grab.
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 Okay, now let's listen to some other examples of how we could use grab in different situations, and then we'll come back and explain it.
On your way home, can you grab some milk?
Wait for me, please. I need to grab my coat.
Let's grab a cup of coffee.
All right, well, I would understand that go grab means go get quickly.
To go get quickly, yeah.
Yeah. All right, everyone. So now it's time to listen one more time to the dialogue and listen carefully and try to understand why the waiter doesn't like the customer. Let's listen.
Dialogue.
Good evening. My name is Fabio. I'll be your waiter for tonight. May I take your order?
No, I'm still working on it. This menu's not even in English. What's good here?
For you, sir, I would recommend spaghetti and meatballs.
Does it come with Coke and fries?
It comes with either soup or salad and a complimentary glass of wine, sir.
I'll go with the spaghetti and meatballs, salad, and the wine.
Excellent choice. Your order will be ready soon.
How soon is soon?
20 minutes?
You know what? I'll just go grab a burger across the street.
Ma va un po', ti vieni in questo locale, mi fai tutte queste domande ancora? Ma va a pigliare.
Marco, why did this waiter get angry at the customer?
Well, he basically wasted the waiter's time. I mean, this guy comes into the restaurant, he is not very polite, and he's asking all these questions, and in the end he just gets up and says, I'll just go grab a burger across the street.
Yeah, and I also think that this guy was a lot more casual than the place he was in, right?
Yeah, I think this was a nice, fancy restaurant, so I think he was in the wrong place.
Yeah. So how many times, Marco, tell me, do you really have fast food a week?
Fast food, let's see, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God.
No. I think I get fast food maybe once or twice a week. All right, talking about fast food made me hungry, so I think I'm going to go grab something to eat myself.
Yeah, me too.
All right. I hope you guys enjoyed the lesson today, and remember that all of this vocabulary is useful for your everyday needs.
Yes. Well, actually, here in English Pod, we focus on phrases and words that are high frequency, and that means that you can use them every day in your practical life.
Exactly. And be sure to go to our website at englishpod.com, where you can find many other resources, and you can leave your questions and comments at our community forum.
So thank you very much for listening. We'll be back tomorrow with another great lesson for you. So until then, bye.
Bye.
The second fur of the dialogue.
Welcome back, everybody. Today, we're going deep. We're doing a deep dive into everyday English.
Okay.
We're going to be looking at a restaurant dialogue from English Pod, English Pod,
yeah,
that English learning podcast. And we're going to use this dialogue to show how some simple phrases can really make or break an interaction. And hopefully along the way, you'll pick up some tips to sound like a natural English speaker.
Absolutely. The beauty of language is that it's so much more than just words.
Right.
It's really about understanding those nuances, the unspoken rules, the subtle cues that shape how we're perceived.
It's like when you walk into a room and you instantly know the vibe.
Yeah.
Is it formal, casual, somewhere in between? Well, language does the same thing.
It does.
So let's set the scene for today's deep dive.
Okay.
We are eavesdropping on a conversation between a waiter and a customer in a restaurant.
Oh.
And let's just say this customer, you'll hear for yourself.
All right.
Let's take a listen. You can practically hear the awkwardness in the air.
Hi, babe.
Does it come with Coke and fries?
Yeah.
In a place with a multilingual menu.
Right.
Makes you cringe for the waiter a little.
Yeah, it's a really fascinating example of how language can clash.
Yes.
Create this clash of context.
Yes.
I mean, the customer's question, not inherently rude or anything, but it immediately sets a very casual tone, almost fast food.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and that's where the humor and the cringe comes in.
Right.
But before we really dissect the customer's interesting choice of words, let's rewind to that first phrase he used. I'm still working on it.
Yeah, that's a really good example of a phrase that is so versatile in English. You can use it for tasks decisions.
Yeah.
Even just to buy yourself a little time in a conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like when the waiter asked if he was ready to order, he could have just said, not yet, but I'm still working on it. Adds that politeness. It's like saying, I'm giving this my full attention. Just bear with me. Let's listen to a couple of examples.
Okay.
See? It works in so many situations.
It does.
And it's something that you'll hear native English speakers using all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's go back to that infamous line. Does it come with Coke and fries?
What's interesting here is the use of Coke and fries, particularly when they're paired together.
Yes.
It instantly kind of evokes this fast food setting.
Right.
Right.
Like, which, as we can already tell, doesn't match the ambiance
Doesn't match at all.
of this restaurant at all.
Yeah.
It's like showing up to a symphony orchestra concert in your gym clothes.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't quite work.
Creates a sense of incongruity.
Yes.
And that's where that comedy and the social awkwardness kind of comes in.
Yeah, and the waiter, bless his heart, he tries to gently steer the customer
He does.
in a different direction.
Yeah.
He mentions a complimentary glass of wine.
Yes.
Complimentary, I love that word.
In a nice word.
Free.
Yes. But it's more than free, right?
Yeah.
It has that more sophisticated connotation to it.
Yes, complimentary.
Yeah, it suggests something that is offered graciously as a gesture of hospitality.
Like a gift.
Yeah.
Which aligns with the, likely upscale atmosphere of the restaurant.
It does. It's like a subtle cue,
Mm-hmm.
but it really speaks volumes about the context of the situation.
Yeah.
And it's a great example of how a single word can just elevate the tone of a conversation.
For sure.
So now, despite his earlier confusion, the customer seems to partially catch on.
Uh-huh.
He says, I'll go with the spaghetti and meatballs, salad, and the wine.
I'll go with is another interesting phrase.
Okay.
It's less formal than I'll have,
Mm-hmm.
which you might hear in a really, really fancy restaurant.
Right.
But it's still totally fine in most dining settings.
It's like the casual, approachable cousin of I'll have.
Yes.
Still making a selection, but it implies a more relaxed and friendly interaction.
Yes, and it shows how even when you're just choosing from a menu, there are these subtle ways to adjust your language to match the tone of the situation.
Yes. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, so far we've really seen how the customer's language is creating this kind of dissonance with the restaurant's ambiance,
Yeah.
like wearing a tracksuit to a ballroom dance.
Yeah.
It's closing, but not quite the right fit.
Not the right fit at all. And this mismatch becomes even more apparent as the conversation continues.
It does.
Let's hear what happens next.
Okay.
How soon is 20 minutes? I mean, it's not overtly rude,
Right.
but you can hear just a hint of impatience there, right?
Yes.
Like a subtle push against the whole leisurely pace of a fine dining experience.
Yeah, it's like he's expecting the speed and efficiency of a fast food drive-through.
Right.
Totally clashes with the, implied formality of this restaurant.
Like trying to hail a taxi in the middle of a marathon.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
You're just in the wrong lane, my friend.
Yeah.
And speaking of being in the wrong lane,
Yes.
the customer's final line is what really takes the cake.
All right, let's hear it.
He ditches the spaghetti and meatballs for a burger across the street.
Wow.
The audacity. Poor Fabio, our waiter.
Yeah.
Probably left standing there wondering what just hit him.
Yeah. I mean, it really is like the culmination of this series of misaligned communication styles.
Yes.
The customer's casual language and those expectations.
Yeah.
Highlighted by that final grab a burger line.
Right.
They just don't mesh with the, the sophisticated restaurant atmosphere.
Like bringing a boombox to the library.
Yeah.
Just complete disregard for the unspoken rules of the environment. And speaking of grab,
Yes.
that word itself reveals a lot about the speaker's mindset.
It does.
The English pod hosts actually had some really interesting insights about the seemingly simple word.
Uh-huh.
Let's refresh our memory.
Okay.
So grab really implies that sense of speed, informality, ease.
It does.
It's just something that you can just quickly pick up or acquire without much effort. You wouldn't say, I'm going to grab a gourmet 7-course meal.
No, you wouldn't.
Right.
Grab is for things you can grab and go.
Exactly.
For errands, quick bites.
Yes.
Things that don't require a lot of time or formality.
So by saying, I'll just go grab a burger, our customer is further reinforcing his casual approach.
He is.
And his disconnect from the restaurant's, more refined atmosphere.
Yes.
It's like wearing flip-flops to a job interview.
Yeah.
Just a clear sign that you're not quite on the same page.
You're not on the same page at all. It really highlights how even these tiny, seemingly insignificant word choices
I know.
can have a huge impact on how we're perceived and how our messages are received.
It's a fascinating reminder that language is so much more than just conveying information. It's about navigating social situations, establishing rapport, and creating a shared understanding.
Absolutely. And speaking of creating a shared understanding, do you notice the interesting shift in tone after the dialogue ended in the English Pod episode.
You mean when the hosts, after dissecting this rather formal and awkward interaction, started chatting about their own fast food preferences?
Exactly. It was quite a humorous contrast, wasn't it?
It's so funny.
Yeah.
It's like they were deliberately highlighting the irony, you know?
Yeah.
Analyzing a stuffy restaurant scene one minute and craving greasy burgers the next.
It goes to show that even those who study language and analyze all its intricacies,
Right.
they are still subject to its power and the influence of context. We all have our grab-a-burger moments, no matter how eloquent we may be.
I love that. That's such a great point. It brings us back to the human element of language.
Yeah.
It's not always about perfect grammar or sophisticated vocabulary. It's about connecting with others, expressing ourselves, and sometimes just indulging in a little comfort food.
Yes.
Linguistic or otherwise.
Yeah.
It's a good reminder that even language experts have those moments,
Yeah.
you know. But this whole dialogue, as cringeworthy as it was,
Yeah.
I think it offers a valuable lesson for all of us.
It highlights a crucial aspect of communication that goes beyond just knowing the words. It's about this subtle dance between language and context.
It's not just what we say, but how we say it and where we say it.
Yeah.
It's like the difference between wearing a tuxedo to a wedding and wearing it to a pool party.
Right.
Same outfit, but completely different message.
Exactly. And just like a mismatched outfit can raise eyebrows.
Yes.
Using the wrong language in the wrong context can lead to misunderstandings.
Of course.
Awkwardness, missed opportunities even.
So how can our listeners avoid those linguistic faux pas?
Well, one of the most important things is to be aware of your surroundings.
Yeah.
You know, pay attention to the tone, the formality, the overall vibe of the situation.
Okay.
Is it a casual gathering with friends or a professional meeting? Is it a bustling market or a quiet library?
Like reading the room, but with your ears instead of your eyes.
Exactly. And once you've kind of gauged the situation, adjust your language accordingly.
Yep.
And if you're unsure, it's always best to err on the side of formality.
Right.
You can always, dial it back later once you've established a rapport.
Better to be slightly overdressed than underdressed, linguistically speaking.
Exactly. And remember those handy phrases that we talked about today?
I do.
I'm still working on it. Complimentary, I'll go with. Yeah. And even grab when used appropriately.
All right.
These phrases are like tools in your linguistic toolbox.
I like that.
The more you use them, the more comfortable and confident you'll become
Yes.
in navigating these different conversational landscapes.
And as you become more attuned to those nuances of language,
Yeah.
you'll not only avoid awkward situations like our friend in the restaurant,
Right.
but you'll also unlock the power to really connect with others on a deeper level.
Absolutely.
Express yourself with more clarity and truly master the art of everyday English.
And who knows, maybe you will even inspire someone to ditch their burger and try the spaghetti and meatballs instead.
Now that's a linguistic superpower worth striving for. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the fascinating world of everyday English. We'll catch you next time for another insightful exploration.